Do you have everything you need? Tackle these problems or these situations head on with these tools that you've actually given yourself?
Yeah, I'm not getting bogged down by other thoughts that I'm having in the process. Yeah, wow, that was awesome.
Welcome to Connect the Dots, a podcast for hungry individuals that love to stay curious, who crave for knowledge, and have an insatiable appetite for growth. My name is Alex Lynn. I have coached incredible individuals from around the world and noticed something. Everyone has a story from which someone else can benefit. Why dabble and wait to make mistakes yourself when you can save so much time and learn from the experiences of others? In this podcast, I'll share deeply insightful conversations, acquired wisdom, and proven strategies so you can quickly achieve what you want in your business, relationship, health, and personal development.
Today, I'm joined by Alysha. This is her first ever coaching experience, and she decides to work on what's really holding her back in life. She's faced several times throughout her career with these opportunities to speak up, and yet she can't find out why she's not actually being her true authentic self. We look really closely at the scenarios and empower her with the tools to actually persevere in the next time she's faced with the dilemma of either keeping it to herself or speaking up and speaking her mind. I hope you enjoy. Alysha, I want to welcome you to the Connect the Dots show. It's so nice to have you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and so today I want to tell the audience, Alysha hasn't had any experience with coaching before, correct?
Yeah.
Right. And so you and I have passed each other's, journeys or passed each other's paths a couple times. And today we're going to see where we can take her. What kind of things are maybe holding her back and how fast we can get her there. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. So Alysha, tell me, what would you like to discuss today?
So I think what I would like to discuss is kind of figuring out like what's holding me back internally. And also perhaps to find ways to like cultivate that knowledge and use it for good and for like productivity.
Wonderful. And so when you say holding you back, can you give me some scenarios where you feel like you're being held back?
Yeah, I would just say that I find that if in any situation, I have two choices. One is to be myself and to be articulate and creative, come up with creative solutions and creative verbs and words. And the other one is just to be quiet and not really say or do anything because I am either scared or feeling anxious or nervous around. It's mostly around like it's about the people. Yeah, so I feel like there's like I literally can choose who I want to be. One is awesome, like one I'm killing it, and then the other one is like, no, you're not. You're being very shy and introverted. Yeah.
And just to clarify, what I get from that is when you're introverted, you feel like you're being held back. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I feel like I'm being held back and just not myself.
So in other words, correct me if I'm wrong, a bit of misalignment of who you truly are and who you should be, right? In perhaps society.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And so what is the ideal you want from all of this?
Just to, I guess, have like not be scared of speaking up, I guess. Okay. Having the courage more often than not to speak my mind or just show up as myself.
Okay, so to be kind of truly authentic to who you
are.
Yeah. Okay. So you said not to be scared to speak your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's like one of my, it's really important to me, I guess is what I'm saying.
So can you name a couple scenarios where you weren't speaking your mind and you felt like you had to show up differently?
Yeah, sometimes like sometimes at work. Um, I'm surrounded by a lot of amazing women, very strong women, and I feel like I'm kind of not to their level yet.
Okay.
And so if there's decisions being made, I'll just allow them to be made without my input. And if my input is asked, I'm very uncomfortable to like provide it,
Hmm.
just
Well,
because like just because it's a debate, right? Like we want to come to the right decision. But if I felt like they were just comfortable with what I had to say and without me having to explain myself, that would be like a different story. That's like where I'm more comfortable.
so when you do give your opinion,
Hmm.
what happens exactly?
Um, it's honestly dependent on the people. If I so if I'm around people that are just really relaxed and chill and they're just like-minded, I can my opinion I give, I'm very confident. I don't feel scared or anxious. But if it's someone else, yeah, I feel scared. I feel like I don't have the confidence um, to relay what I want to say, and then that gets compromised.
And so these specific people that with whom you feel uncomfortable giving your
Hmm.
opinion,
Hmm.
can you describe them to me? Who they are, what they do, what level they are?
I find that they are just really like very confident from the start, very vocal, assertive, um, definitely like even older than me. Like if they have 20 years on me, like I feel like our dynamic changes,
Hmm.
and I allow that to happen. So that's what annoys me.
Now, have you heard of a saying, how you do anything is how you do everything?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
How you can you say that again?
How you do anything is how you do everything.
Hmm.
Okay. By that, I mean, so there are three different environments in which most of us operate. There's the home environment, there's the work environment, and then there's the social environment,
Hmm.
right? Now, this is at work, right? You're saying how if a person is confident, is assertive, vocal, and older, you feel a bit of reluctancy to give your authentic self or to speak up.
Yeah.
Can you name maybe some time when you're with your family that you felt similar to this?
Um, I would say honestly, like I feel like whenever I'm trying to explain myself to like my dad, because he also has those characteristics, you know. So, but otherwise, like I'm pretty much myself. Yeah.
And how about when you're socializing? Could be friends, could be new acquaintances that you met, friends of friends.
Hmm.
You ever felt similar to this?
Um, I would say not as much. Yeah.
Have you met somebody who's similar to your dad or like this person at work outside in your social realm?
Um, have I met like that was not in my social group?
So they could be, or you just met them,
Yes.
right? And they have the characteristics of feeling confident, assertive, vocal, and older. Can
Hmm.
you think of anybody in your social group?
No, I would say they have like you just described five characteristics. I would say like they have three or four.
I see.
Yeah.
And so those particular or people, do you
Hmm.
feel as though if you were to speak up, you would feel inauthentic with them as well?
A little bit, yes.
A little
A
bit.
little bit, yeah.
So if they had three or four characteristics,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, well, I only said four.
Okay.
um, on a scale of 1 to 10, one being completely comfortable talking to them, 10 being, nope, not going to speak up. This is, nope, not for me.
Hmm.
what would you say your level of rating is when you speak to that person in your social circle who has the 3 or 4 characteristics?
Yeah. I would probably say like a 6.
And how about the level of comfort speaking to your father?
Well, that's the thing. He's not always like that. So when he's like that, I feel like I'm at a like an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the person at work?
Probably also an 8.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So I'll sum it up here really quickly for you, what I've gathered, okay?
Okay.
In your 3 environments, you feel this sense of discomfort when you try to speak up, right? At
Yeah.
work, you feel a rating of an 8 out of 10. At home, only when your father has these 4 characteristics, you feel an 8 out of 10, right?
Yes.
Discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they only have some of the characteristics,
Mm-hmm.
you feel a 6, which is a significant drop. Would you say that's a significant drop?
Yeah, I would. I would say that I'm getting more comfortable like
Okay.
than before. Yeah.
So what could you do to make yourself feel more comfortable if
Mm-hmm.
you knew a person had these 4 characteristics of confidence, assertiveness, being vocal, and being older?
Yeah. Um, well, a few of the things are external, and it sucks because if they exist, then I'm fine. But I guess that is not going to work out because then you're relying on people to fulfill those external factors.
Mm-hmm.
But it, like for example, if I know the person is nice or is not going to question what I say, kind of thing, then I'll be fine. But for myself, like internally, that's where I'm having issues because if I knew, then I wouldn't have to choose between being my authentic self and being the default, which is just to be quiet. Yeah, I think I would have to like encourage myself just to speak, just to say something, even if it's not a full articulate couple sentences.
Okay. And we know that progression takes time, right? And so what could you do immediately, like after this call, to encourage yourself in that moment? Now, what I would love to do is take you through a bit of an exercise, okay? If you'll entertain this, I would love for you to close your eyes and go back to a time where you're faced with this similar situation where you want to speak up, but you can't. Can you think of a time?
Yes.
Okay, you don't have to tell it to me, but go back there in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to envision yourself sitting in that place, people around you, really, really get into that scenario.
Okay.
So I'll guide you through it, and then you'll talk as we go. I'll prompt you. I'll ask you some questions, and you can see where we go. Okay?
Okay, sure.
Awesome. So you're sitting in this area. You're feeling this discomfort, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to speak up. Where do you feel the discomfort at this moment in your body?
I feel it. So yes, I feel it in my body, but I'm like hot.
You're feeling hot. Okay, good.
Yeah, and
So,
fidgety.
wonderful. Now that's a trigger for you. Your body usually tells you what you need to do, and it's sending you messages constantly saying, Alysha, you got to think or do something differently.
Mm-hmm.
So when this body of yours becomes warm or hot, whatever it is, right? You know that this is related to this particular case where you want to speak up, but you can't. And now it's time for you to take control of that sensation and say, what do I need to do at this very moment to feel better or to do what I need to do? Okay. So bask in this moment for a sec and feel that warmth and know that it's okay. You're human. Everybody gets nervous sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of what you need to do or what you need to think of in order to overcome this. Yeah. So look around, see the people, feel the warmth, hear the voices. You're about to speak up. What do you think you need to tell yourself in that moment to help you overcome this fear of speaking up?
I would tell myself, just say it, like just do it, kind of thing.
Okay, wonderful. What else?
Like don't overthink. Keep it short.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I would also ask myself if it's important for me. Like, do I need to say something, or like, am I just like getting really like triggered because I'm feeling uncomfortable?
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's about it.
Wonderful. Take a deep breath. Come back to the room. You can open your eyes. How was that for you?
It was good. I've never done that before.
Wonderful. So in my studies, and as you know, I work with NLP, we've learned that imagining with our minds and physically doing in the real world, there's very little difference. Our bodies can't tell the difference. So in that moment, when I'm asking you to describe it, you're saying, I feel that warmth. You weren't even in the room, but you felt that warmth. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I go on to further question you, asking, could you see the people?
Yeah.
Could you hear the voices?
Yeah,
Right.
totally. Yeah.
And so when you associate yourself into those scenarios, and you do it once, you start to gain this confidence. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you go through another exercise, but this is going to help you deal with whatever's going on using your own advice. Are you ready?
Okay.
Now, before we dive into this, I want to gauge your level of confidence. So say right now, you were in that same meeting.
Mm-hmm.
1 is 0 confidence. 10 is you have the most confidence possible. If you were to be there right now, what confidence level would you be?
If I was to be in that same situation, maybe like a 6.
Cool. Wonderful. All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. So we're going to close your eyes again, and we're going to get you to imagine that same scenario, exact same scenario.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Alysha, you are now in the room. You can see the people. You can feel the warmth that you felt, that triggers that cue for your body to think or see something differently. And you hear the voices going on. You hear the dialogue and the discussion, and you have this certain urge to speak up. Alysha, a moment ago, you said that if you were there to give yourself advice, you would say things like, just say it. Keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Is this really important? And do I really need to speak up in this moment? Answer those questions to yourself. And notice the shift in confidence. As you analyze the answers, you come to your clarity. Whether you decide to speak up or not, that's up to you. Take a deep breath. Exhale, and come back to the room. How was it?
It was like different.
Hmm.
It was like a different focus.
Awesome.
Yeah. Just in regards to, I don't know how to explain it, but it was giving me, like the last part really hit me.
Hmm.
It was just giving me like the option of like, if I really need to do this, and if I don't, then there's nothing to worry about. Like, you don't have to put yourself through the stress kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so now I'm going to ask you again. If you were in that scenario, the exact same one, but
Mm-hmm.
this time you had these tools that you gave yourself. You empowered yourself to say these questions of just say it or not. Keep it short. Do I really need to? What level of confidence would you have? 1 being zero confidence, 10 being full confidence.
Well, I I guess like for like the situation, I guess, because I just reanalyzed it, like going back to it,
Mhm.
I kind of realized it wasn't important for me
Mhm.
to say anything. I kind of really, I think I got in my head too much that it's something I need to say. So I think I would have like way more confidence to not say anything and not be bothered by these feelings I'm having. Yeah, which is like a different take to the reason why we're talking today, So,
And remember how we were talking about your body's going to give you signs on either to do something differently or to
mm-hmm,
see something differently.
mm-hmm.
Which of the two, which signs did you pick up from yourself?
Um, it was just to see something differently, just to like appraise the whole situation in a different way. Um, because like when I was asking myself those questions, don't overthink it, just say it, and then the last one, um, I at the end of it, I realized like it's not really as important to me. So then those other questions, like everything that I'm conjuring up, it can really dissipate, like, and I can be okay with it.
That's wonderful. Now, at the beginning of our conversation, you're wanting to look at something that was holding you back.
Yes.
Do you feel now, knowing that it's actually a better choice not to say it, right? Because it wasn't that important. Am I getting that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you feel more authentic to yourself?
Yeah. It's hard to answer that because um, the reason why I'm like, I have to take a step back and like I'm having these body sensations is because of the people.
Hmm.
Um, and again, if they weren't there, I would have just said it right away. So I guess, yes, I like on a rating, I'm a little bit higher in confidence in that situation because I guess I'm just allowing myself to make peace with, or just like kind of come up with my own, how do I say it? Like a new definition for why I'm not talking,
Hmm.
you know?
And what's that definition now, if you don't mind me
Um,
asking?
it's not, it's just like, it's the new definition is it worth is it worth it for you to say something kind of thing.
Nice. So you said you were at a 6.
Mm-hmm.
You said it went up a bit.
Yeah,
What number would you give it?
like a 7 or 8, you
Wonderful.
know.
Now, what's missing? What do
um
you need in that
hmm.
moment, or even now, to bring that confidence level up to a 10?
Honestly, I think if I said something, I would feel better. Like I feel like just me not saying something, it's fine because I talked about it, like we talked about it, and I realized, oh yeah, it's not that important. But if I actually said something, I would be telling myself like, wow, you said something in that moment and you were scared and you're around all these people and you did it. That would be more of a confidence booster, I guess.
And that's what you want, to be able to do that.
Yeah, like I want to be able to decipher like, what's worth it, what's not. But I would also like to just say things and have that confidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to me, it sounds like there's two pathways to the 10. It's that confidence to say, okay, time for me to speak up. I'm going to say what I need to say because it's bubbling inside me and has to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's that finding the peace where if I don't say anything, it's okay. Like, this is not my time to speak up, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing something?
No, it's really just those two things.
Hmm.
Because there's no other way for me to go about it. It's either I say something or I don't. Yeah.
And with either, outcomes,
Mm-hmm.
you would be happy and resolute with what you do now that you know how to analyze it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because because I've been in these situations before where, I'm always like going back to, oh, it's about the people. It's the people that affect what I say, how I think or whatever. But if the people were like more comfortable and relaxed, and I'd have these decisions I'd have to make, like, should I say something? Should I not? I'm like totally at peace with it. I don't have to think about it. I'm just comfortable with either speaking up or not. And then in that situation, it's like I need to kind of uh, give myself reassurance that it's okay.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's more steps.
And so, would you like to go there? I would love to dive deeper if you would like to.
Yeah, sure.
You're saying you need more steps to reassure yourself that it's okay not to speak.
Yeah.
Now, you gave yourself advice a couple seconds ago,
Mm-hmm.
how to analyze a situation. Now, if you were not to speak, what would you need to tell yourself in order to feel completely satisfied with that decision to say, I'm happy not speaking right now?
Yeah. Definitely that question about is it important? Because that really like sways me so much. Because if it is, I'll try and fight a little bit more for it, right? Um, and then the other thing is like, why am I not speaking up? So if it does have to do with the people and just feeling uncomfortable, then I'm not at peace with not speaking up.
Okay. So it sounds like because of the external factors of the people, it
Mm-hmm.
really, really affects your judgment in terms of speaking up or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We both know that we can't control other people.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But what we can control is the way we react and the thoughts we think. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in those moments, what kind of empowering thoughts could you have to really give you that confidence to say, yeah, there's some pretty powerful people here, but this is true to me. And I think it's really important that I speak up.
Mm-hmm. Um, I would say something like take that micro step, because taking a step to me is big. So it's like really taking that baby step, so that you're like in that. So you're putting yourself in a situation where you're scared and you might be feeling embarrassed, but going through with it and like actually saying something that sounds okay, and then looking at it from the other side. I think that's what I need to like focus on, like putting myself in those situations. And yeah, for that to happen, I have to kind of coach myself in a way.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's coach yourself.
Sorry?
Let's coach you. I'm going to
Okay.
get you to coach yourself.
Okay.
Okay? This is going to be a little fun exercise, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. Okay.
Okay, sure.
So again, I'm not going to talk, but you will this time. And we're going to go back to that situation. We can go to another one if you'd like. Would you like to go to a different one or the same?
Hmm. Maybe I can go to another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have one in your mind? Do you have it?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
So close your eyes if you don't mind.
Hmm.
Go back to this situation, the new one that you're thinking about.
Hmm.
Really, really put yourself in there. Feel the atmosphere. See the people and whatever's going on, the colors, the lights, the objects, and listen to the voices and the sounds that are going on around you. You see yourself from a perspective of a fly on the wall. You're in the corner of the room and you see yourself sitting there amongst these other people. You watch yourself with these burning sensations coming again, I assume. What would you tell yourself in that moment to help you speak up?
Um, yeah, I would say, yeah, the first thing I would say would be to like just take that micro step.
Yeah.
Um,
What else?
oh, take your time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other one.
Anything else?
Take a breath, and just start with one sentence and then see what happens. Yeah.
Wonderful. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Great. All right. Come back into the room. How was that for you?
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my studies are the techniques that I like to use. This in particular
Mm-hmm.
is kind of like your subconscious talking to yourself. The subconscious is within us, and I don't know if you've heard of it, but 10% of our body is operated with the conscious mind,
Mm-hmm.
and 90% is operated with the subconscious mind, right? All these decisions we make, they're based on past experiences, whether or not, okay, if I do this, is this going to be something that's going to bring me closer to pleasure or to pain? And then you decide which one you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now, when you're able to talk to your subconscious mind, you're able to see things, hopefully, in a different way. You're no longer having these preconceived notions of what it means to be in that situation because you couldn't really coach yourself out of it. You just had the chance to speak to yourself, speak to your subconscious, right? And the things you said were, take that micro step. Take your time.
Mm-hmm.
Take a breath. And just take it one sentence at a time.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good one.
It is a good one, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So now with these new ideas, this new way to approach the situation,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, when you're put in that similar situation where the body's starting to heat up, you'll be able to tell you this stuff. You'll be able to tell yourself this stuff. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
How you doing?
Good, good. I think that's like, I think this was like something that I do already, but it wasn't as positive or focused.
Hmm.
So it's like nice to see that I had a little bit of framework already, but it was just a little bit all over the place. Like I would think something and then I would it would turn into rumination, and that's not positive. So it's good to see that, hopefully that when I do get myself in these situations again, that I will have that kick in.
Cool.
Yeah.
So let's go. Let's check the pulse again. 1 to 10. 1 being zero confidence. 10 being I can approach these situations with full confidence, knowing that I can coach myself just as I did 2 seconds ago.
Mm-hmm.
What's your rate?
I think I would definitely be like an 8 or 9. Yeah.
Wonderful. I would love to get you to a 10.
Mm-hmm.
At this moment, what do you think is missing?
Hmm. What is missing?
The truth is, when you say you're at an 8 or 9, part of you knows something's missing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we said 10.
Yeah, like, oh, yeah.
So take a moment, take a breath, one sentence at a time. What's missing? What do you need to feel that full 10?
I think I think it's something I'm lacking myself, which is just inner self-confidence.
Mm.
That's what it is. Like, it's like I either have it or I have less of it, and then it just compromises the whole situation.
Can you, okay, so this is going to be an interesting exercise for you.
Okay.
Can you name me a time where you have full self-confidence? Where you
Yeah.
feel so empowered, just you can conquer anything and you just feel at a super high.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want me to name it to you or
We'll go through that together.
oh, okay.
So can you describe to me your physical posture, what you're doing, sitting, standing, whatever it is, when you have that full confidence?
Yeah. So I'm really animated and I'm laughing. Well, not laughing, but just like smiling, and um I'm very articulate. Just having fun. I'm not thinking about the things I'm normally thinking about that would like stop me from being this um like carefree, I guess.
Mhm.
um oh, and also my what I say is very like I find more interesting and creative.
Wonderful. What are you wearing?
What am I wearing? It's always like a happy color,
Okay.
like a pink or something, you know.
What are the thoughts that you're thinking in that moment when you feel super confident?
um well, I can tell you the thoughts I don't have, which are just like what are people thinking of me, or like that kind of stuff.
Okay,
It's
so
more
let's
just
flip. I don't want to focus on the negative. I want to focus
right
on the
on
positive.
the positive. Okay. Just like I feel like I'm like my cheerleader, like you're doing awesome, like you go girl kind of thing. And that's what keeps me. Oh, and also uh they like what you're saying also. That's the other thing.
Okay. So I want to keep it internal because external
Okay.
factors will affect you if you let
Yes.
them, right? So if you're
Yes.
looking for that external validation, that might trip you up,
Yes.
right? So I like the fact that you're being your own cheerleader and you say, you go girl kind of thing.
Hmm.
What else can you say to yourself in those moments that you feel super confident?
Just like my feedback is really positive. So I'd say, wow, you that sentence was awesome, or like things like that. Like, oh, that made sense. Like little things like that. Um,
Okay, wonderful. I think I got everything we need.
okay.
Okay, so let's bring it back to that last scene where you were faced, you were looking at yourself, coaching yourself, okay?
Hmm.
But this time, I'm going to add the element of your full potential self. And we'll see how that feels for you. Okay?
Okay.
Awesome. So if you could close your eyes really quickly,
Okay.
you're going to that bit of a predicament of whether or not to speak up or not. You're put in a place where you don't know what to do, and yet you're in the corner of the room seeing yourself saying these things. Take that micro step. Take that breath. Take your time. And just start with one sentence. as you see yourself going through that thought process, you remember that when you feel powerful, when you feel your strongest, you're animated, you're smiling, you're articulate, and you say interesting and creative things. You're fun, and you're not overthinking the situation. You're carefree. You got on your happy color shirt. You cheer yourself on as a cheerleader. You go, girl. Wow, that sounded awesome. That made so much sense. Now is the time to decide. Do you speak or do you don't speak? Whatever decision is okay. Know that you are feeling at your best and you've analyzed the situation with yourself as the coach. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Come back to the room.
Okay.
How was that this time?
It was good, much better. I felt like there were more positive rays in the situation. Yeah.
Do you think you have everything you need to go forth with these kind of situations, knowing what you need to be, who you need to be, what you need to think, what you need to wear, and the things you need to tell yourself?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because that stuff, it needs to overpower the other stuff. And I felt like it did when I was like imagining it. So that was a good feeling. Yeah.
Great. Now, going back to the point of overpowering, to be honest, thoughts will come and go. It's up to us to decide whether or not we want to focus on them or let them go and have a new one. So to have things overpower this, negative emotions to positive emotions, it's actually a matter of taking a breath, taking your time, and looking at it differently with your coaching's words in your powerful state, in your resourceful state, right? As a suggestion, when you're going into these meetings, I urge you to wear your happy colors, right?
Yeah.
You know it's going to be a tough meeting or not. Maybe you don't, right? But you know what you need to be like or think in order to be your true self and come to the right decision of whether or not to speak or not to speak. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. It's like I need to show up a little differently, I think. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. So do you have everything you need to tackle these problems or these situations head on with these tools that you've actually given yourself?
Yeah. I think that it's like really, it's more like I said before, it's more clear to me, I guess. I'm not getting bogged down by other thoughts that I'm having in the process.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That was awesome.
Well, I want to thank you for your time. If there's anything else that we need in this moment, you let me know. But I think you have a lot to chew on. You've been given a toolbox of your ideas, new beliefs, and a new way of showing up.
Yeah.
You can decide whether or not you want to use them or leave them at home. Sound good to you?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I look forward to hearing about your stories in the next situation where you're faced with this dilemma of speaking up or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be cool to implement them and see where it goes. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Have a good day, Alysha.
Thanks. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
I do what I believe, and what I believe is that everyone holds a story that can help someone else. Through coaching, I'm able to lead conversations, dig deep, and elicit personal experiences that lead to eye-opening insights. If you want more of this and learn from some of the most incredible people on this planet, go to coachalexlin.com/connectthedots.